Alright, Jason here from Septic Tank. Alright, Jason here from Septic Tank TV. And in this live broadcast, I'm going to be answering the question, right? How do you know if your septic tank is legal or not? And why should you care? Alright, so this live broadcast is primarily directed at people who are buying a house with a septic tank. And so that means it's very, very important for you if you're selling a house with a septic tank. All right, so what's changed? Okay, well, a couple of years ago, the government changed all the rules and regulations, or updated them, let's just say that, right? And so this is what it basically means now in layman's terms. It all hinges around the year 2015. So you've got before septic tanks were installed before 2015 and after 2015. So it all hinges on this demarcation line here. So what about these or those septic tanks that were installed after 2015? What is different about them than the ones installed before 2015? Well, let me show you. Basically, 99% of septic tanks installed before 2015 won't have this. All septic tanks now have to have something which I call an MOT certificate. That basically means they have to have a government certificate. They're signed off, right? And this certificate says that this septic tank complies with all the new rules and regulations, and you get a certificate to prove it. And so if you're buying a house with a septic tank, the people who are selling the house with a septic tank will hand you that certificate. It shows that their system is working correctly and it's all legal and above board. So basically, 99% of people who had septic tanks installed before 2015 won't have this MOT certificate. So why should that matter? Well, let me put it to you first, you people that own a property with a septic tank. Now, if you're not buying, if you're not selling your house, then you probably won't give much credence to this, but you will give credence to it when you come to sell it, or a government inspector from the environmental agency comes and knocks on your door, because he's going to come round and he's going to ask you this question. Was your septic tank installed before 2015? So that's the question you're going to get asked by the environmental agency officer. But let's say you're like, oh, well, when it comes to it, it comes to it, right? But if you sell your house, right, the people buying your house will also be asking you that question. Was your septic tank installed before 2015? Because the solicitors, right, representing the people buying your house, will want to know, because they'll know if it was installed before 2015, it's not legal. So what does that mean? Does someone get a slap on the wrist because your septic tank isn't legal? Well, that's a discussion for another day. But what it will mean in the immediate is this, right? They will get, the people buying your house will get someone to do a septic tank survey, a site inspection, septic tank inspection, right? And they'll know, right? They'll look for key signs, right? If the tank isn't plastic, if it's made of brick, if it's made of breeze block, if it's made of concrete, if it's made of metal, they'll know, right, that it wasn't installed after 2015, because all 99% of tanks, right, installed after 2015 are plastic, special plastic, heavy duty plastic. So they'll do a bit more investigation, and then they'll come back to you, the people buying your house, and they'll say, look, we condemn this system because it's not legal anymore. So what does that mean for you, the person selling the house? Well, that means the people buying the house are going to come back to you and they're going to say, we've been quoted by the company we sent to do the survey, we've been quoted, and if I do it in red, it'll stand out more. They'll come back to you and say, in fact, let me just do it on this. They'll come back to you and say, we have been quoted £15,000 to £20,000 is what it's going to cost us to install or get a new septic tank system installed. So we're very happy to buy your house, right? But will you please lower the house price by 15 to 20 grand? Now, if you're selling the house, that's something that you may not have considered. But basically, this MOT certificate equals money, right? What you're going to have to drop your house price by because your septic tank isn't legal, right? So let's say they say, well, I'm not going to buy the house until you've got a legal system in. It's going to cost you then, right? Either way, whether you drop your house price or get a firm in to do it, it's going to cost you 15 to 20,000 quid to make your system legal. So that's why, right, it's really important now for people who own septic tanks to wake up to this, right? Because it means money, especially when you come to sell your property. Okay, so I've also done this video because if you're selling your house, right, and you don't want to drop your house price by 15 or 20 grand, what solutions, what other options have you got to make your septic tank legal? Well, most firms won't tell you this, right, because they make a living, right, from putting in septic tank systems and doing septic tank installation. But what they won't tell you, that out there exists something called septic tank kits. And these septic tank kits, right, will save you 13 or 15,000 quid because they start at just like 1999, right? And you get a complete septic tank. You get the pipe work, you get the inspection chamber, you get all the drainage field crates. It's a really small footprint, something like the total footprint is something like 18 foot long by about 8 foot wide. Right, so that means they can just go next to the left or the right or in front or behind of your existing septic tank. Okay, so you can get a builder to put these in. These septic tank kits literally just take a few hours to install, you know. And the point is, the big thing is, right, apart from saving 15,000 quid or more, right, you will get that MOT certificate. So there you go. So I've explained, right, how to know if your septic tank is legal or not. I've shown you why you should care, because if you're selling your house with a septic tank, it's going to cost you 15 to 20 grand, either lowering the house price or getting a firm in to make your system legal. But I've also shown you an alternative option, right? You can get your builder or a local groundsman or a man with a digger in to put one of these septic tank kits in. It'll save you 15,000 quid, and you get that MOT certificate, and you make your system legal, and you can sell your house. So listen, there you go. Hope that helped. So listen, thank you very much for taking the time to watch this video today. You take care, and